ShowCase is a lightweight argument mapping application built on top of Microsoft Word. Technically, ShowCase is a document which opens up as a protected form. Users can only edit the document by entering text into the fields, shown here highlighted, or by modifying the map using buttons on the ShowCase Tools dialog box. Thus, ShowCase essentially locks down Word and turns it into an argument mapping application. In this case, we have an argument for the claim that climate change is a problem. The main contention is at the top, and arguments are nested underneath it. I can add another argument by selecting the relevant claim, clicking on the green reason button, and then entering the text of the main premise of the new argument. Importantly, ShowCase supports co-premise structures. To add a co-premise to an argument, I select the relevant argument, click on the With button, and then enter the text of the co-premise. I can now add reasons or objections to the main premise, or to the co-premise, or, as we saw before, to the original contention. Arguments can be infinitely deeply nested, though performance does start to suffer with deep nesting. I'll now go and delete that group. In addition to reasons and objections, we can add bases to indicate the non-argumentative basis on which a claim might be accepted or rejected. Here, I'll take the claim that climate change causes species loss to have the basis expert opinion. In this case, the expert is the IPCC. We can also add hyperlinks at any point on the map. In this case, I'll add a link to the IPCC report to that expert opinion basis box. An interesting feature of ShowCase is that we can do automatic checking for violations of the argument structure heuristics that we call the rabbit and holding hands rules. Have a look at the second of our arguments. If I select the main premise and then click on the rabbit rule button, ShowCase highlights the fact that the word problem appears in the contention but does not yet appear in any premise. Similarly, if I click on the holding hands rule button, ShowCase highlights that the term extreme weather events appears in a premise but doesn't yet appear anywhere else. These are structural problems that can be rectified by adding the appropriate co-premise. Here is an example of a complex argument mapped out in ShowCase. The argument is drawn from an opinion piece written by the then leader of the opposition. Not all of his argument is represented here. To help manage the visual complexity of a complex multi-argument case, we can hide or show particular argument branches. Having constructed an argument map, we can export the map in a variety of formats: raw text, indented text, as a table, or as a picture. Here, I'll select the main contention of this argument and export as indented text. The text has been copied to my clipboard, and I can now paste that into a separate document. Finally, ShowCase supports a simple form of deliberative decision mapping, in which we start with a question, look at various different options, and the pros and cons of those options. Pros and cons can in turn be supported or opposed by arguments, and here you can see our previous argument about climate change causing species loss as backing up the con of severe consequences, which applies to the option of doing nothing. More information about ShowCase is available at the ShowCase website at sites.google.com/site/showcase software. To get a copy, just contact Tim Van Gelder at tvg@ozthink.com.